He was lively early, wasn't he? I mean, the good signs early. Davey got the ball, Green got the ball, Frawley, and then Maloney's just been magnificent all day, of course. But they've been terrific, the Dees.
Bale runs the boundary line inside the forward 50. Pettit. What's the story with Tom Scully, Tim?
He's running. Sorry, I asked him today. Went down to he's running. He's back running. Mackenzie's playing his first game for Casey today, so they're getting those guys back. So Scully back running basically this week.
Okay, that'll be a bonus for them. Pettit. That's a long kick. That is a beautiful kick. Has it got the carry? Not quite. On the goal line, Jacobs got a fist on it and knocks it out of bounds.
Look at this tackle. Yeah, that's when your side's up almost by 100 points. And Frawley missed the early part of the season, missed a lot of part of the latter pre-season as well, but he's really starting to come into some form. All Australian defender last year.
Rutten, Van Berlo. Coming through down there, I think it was Smith who kicks it up towards the wing. Well done. Tippett battled a couple of them. Riley, who's tried hard today, going nowhere. Well, he was pushed in the back, says the umpire.
He's been Adelaide's best, Riley, hasn't he?
Yep.
Tippett's probably done okay too because he's had so few chances. Yench floats at the centre half forward, and mark taken by Frawley. Then Frawley out wide to Green. Green may use Merrick over the top. Had Tapscott in the centre. Merrick gets away from Sloane. Kick to Sylvia. What a good game Sylvia's had since half-time. And then belts it long and hard to centre. Watts nearly. And then Jones is being terrific. He just breaks the tackle. Breaks another one. Could he kick a goal? Yes, he can. Oh, that is magnificent.
Well, that's one of the goals of the season.
That ain't jump time. That's good stuff.
Just watch this again. I mean, there's another tackle that just hasn't been able to stick, and that's been the story of the day from Adelaide. But they've been so tenacious, Melbourne. They've been aggressive, even when they've almost been wrapped up in a tackle. They've been able to find a way free. This has got to give them some confidence, doesn't it, as a team?
Well, nothing he can do except get colder. That's just terrific. Came bursting through like Axel Foley, and he kicks it from long range. Nathan Jones now up to 26 possessions. Might be us, but every time we see him play, he's terrific. Narrick out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Bate, applies a strong tackle on Thompson. Symes tries to give it across to Schmidt. He's in trouble. Feeds it back toward Yench. Yench paddles it back inside his defensive 50. Tries to flick it across to Thompson. Gee, they're under pressure. Oh, this is something for the highlight reel for Melbourne there. It was held in, but with the scoreboard showing 131 to 47. If Neil Craig was making DVDs last week, I think we could see that on DVD this week as Melbourne get together. Oblivious to the scoreboard, they were just running Crows down. Yench, little 1-2. Schmidt gave it back to him, goes to the opposite pocket, and Rutten.
What's the world record for clearances, Dennis?
You want me to make it up, or?
Well, I think Maloney's on record pace if he hasn't already broken the world record. He's had 19 clearances now.
I think it's 20.
The next best for Melbourne is Gisbert's with 6.
Who's the best for Adelaide, Tim? So Van Berlo out wide. Tipper, good mark.
Good for you, Bruce. You stopped him in his tracks, Mr. Smarty.
He was on a roll, wasn't he?
He was beating me up.
I think he's gone to a higher level than you and I to get that clearance for most clearances for Adelaide. So Tippett slow kick, McKernan big fly, and then Dunn. Across we go. Tapscott, good Adelaide boy along with Trengo Pettard. Now he's got Wanamiri running. Here you go, Tim. He's still got some energy, Wanamiri. Not much on that tip.
Tight kick that, Dennis.
He's puffing.
Like you went too early.
He's puffing now. Neil Craig's, the biggest defeat under Neil Craig is 141 points. Now that was Brisbane in the 4th match he coached, 2004. 82 points is the 2nd biggest loss they've ever had. That was West Coast in 06. So this is one for the record books at the moment. This is a dirty. This is a Mother's Day massacre.
Okay, do you just say if you're Neil Craig, it's just too bad to be real? We don't even look at the tape at the end of the game, or do you think there's some things that occurred today that he really needs to address about the way it's played? I mean, their form hasn't been that bad. I mean, they were pretty good against St Kilda last week.
Terrific.
Look, they had a terrible first quarter against Freo, and they had a terrible last 3 quarters against Port Adelaide. Other than that, they've been okay.
Here's Warnock scuttling around that outer side. No real pressure on him. Kicks it down towards half forward. Henderson should mark. Well, he punches away. Close to the boundary line. Green arriving very quickly, coming across on the angle, knocked across the line by Smith. Let's go down to Richard.
Yeah, well, Dan, you were just talking about the world record for clearances. I was actually reading the Guinness Book of World Records last night, and it is Paul the Fish Salmon with 22.
Gee, that was close. Another ball up here, I think. Interesting, Neil Craig took over from Gary Ayres midway through 2004. His first game was against Melbourne, and they won by 72 points. Round 14 that year. And from memory, Scotty Welsh kicked 8 goals. Didn't play favourites when it came to coaches, though. He kicked 7 the previous week, and here's his last game. Well, this is quite a swing from that. Only as good as your last game, they say. Well, Neil Craig has had an enormous swing. As for all, he's got the ball at centre half back. Lights are on at the MCG. It's been a gloomy day all day. Sliding in Trengove. Clever. Just bounces the ball up to Marek. Ricochets back to Trengove. Goes to Marek. Running down towards the attacking 50. It'd be nice if J-Mar could kick a goal. The big guy on the lead slaps it across towards Wanamiri. Wanamiri slips it to Marek. Now Bate. Bate hammers it back inside. Bale had a good afternoon. Bale sends it high down towards full forward. It's a Melbourne mark, Sylvia, and that hurt when he landed. Colin Sylvia, who's booted 3 goals this afternoon, just launched himself at that one. That is strong.
That is a strong mark.
The littlest guy there too.
Look at this. There's a Melbourne player all on his own in the goal square.
Ooh. It's been raining today, but not much give in evidence there. So Sylvia, 4 minutes to go. And the margin, I think, will be, if my maths are any good, I don't think I'll chance it. It's 137 to 47. That's 90, Tim. That's 90. We're approaching 100. Time any judge.
So this is the margin. They beat Gold Coast by Melbourne, under 20,000 on this Mother's Day today. So it's a 90-point margin, 14 goals, 6 to 2-2 since half-time. And 8 goals between Sylvie and Pettard after half-time. And there's more to come. Jones inside, nearly. Watts pushed out, Rutten, Jarrett, brilliantly done. Oh, there you go. That's the best sort of junk I've seen in a long time. Talk about junk time. This is beautiful if you're a Demon supporter. He's kicked 3 now, Jarrah. Little cameo, Timmy. 3-4, I think.
Just watch the way he steals his ball. Just reflexes. Bang. He's exciting, isn't he? He is so exciting.
I thought his cousin could play a bit, the boy from the Gold Coast.
The boy Patrick.
Yeah, last night he was something too. Wow.
So bearing in mind that Gold Coast have a perfect record, never beaten in the AFL in Adelaide.
They might start favourite next week, didn't
they? Could. I'm just thinking too, would it show a certain insecurity if Neil Craig asked for a contract to be written up this week? He would be under heat if they lost that game. Who knows with the erratic Gold Coast though, but what a future they've got. McKernan going back takes the mark.
And there's the difference, isn't it? you get that centre break, and all of a sudden the Melbourne defence isn't settled. The ball's going in there quickly, and players like McKernan getting one-on-one contests, and they're going to be in the advantage position as opposed to the disadvantage position.
Well, he missed from here early in the game. I think the trick here is to ask yourself, what would Nathan Bassett do? McKernan. He's come back a long way, Tim. He's almost on the 50.
21 steps, just like Dennis Lilly.
He said 20 seconds have gone. It's going to take him another 20 to get to the man on the mark. It's like the tide. McKernan on his way. Kicks.
Wow.
Kicks beautifully, just as Bass would have done. Let it go. They get their 8th, and maybe it won't be 100.
Well, there's not much to get excited about when you're this far down, but just looking at those clearances again, 51 to Melbourne, 34 to Adelaide. It's shown a bit this year, McKernan, though, and I think there's plenty to work with. You're talking about a young kid, and we know that the bigger kids take a bit longer to develop too, so he, like all the other forwards, has just been starved of opportunity, good opportunities. Wow, look at that ball drop. That's not the sweetest contact you've ever seen in your life, is it?
Extraordinary. Tippett's got an awkward kicking style, but nothing like that. That had to turn his foot inside out to make the right contact.
The thing was, he had the perfect follow-through. He kicked right through the ball.
Jarrah doing a bit of ruck work. Yench back turn. So 90-point margin here. Doughty. Douglas. So Douglas measures it to full forward. Tapscott, he'll probably run it over, and he does. So what a week for Melbourne. I mean, Jim Stynes was strong, wasn't he, at the end of the match in Perth last week, and a lot talked about Melbourne off the field, on the field. We heard from Jim today in the press conference. It's been a fantastic result for them. I feel like their season's right back on track now. Back into the 8. Tapscott under pressure. Sloan off the ground. He'll be better for this run. He's had 2 centre clearance breakouts in the last quarter. He's someone that will certainly be improved.
For a side that was in the 8, though, Melbourne got an extraordinary amount of criticism last week, didn't they?
Well, their wins.
I know their wins were
Brisbane and
against
Gold Coast.
Brisbane and Gold Coast, but I think we all went probably a little bit early last week in terms of being able to write their season off. But this is what you want them to do. You want them to respond, and they've responded in the best possible way.
Davey finds Jones, just another possession. They're looking for Watts, runs on, taken by Sylvia. Gisberts just lobs this ball over Trengove. 50-50 ball. Trengove did brilliantly. Delayed the release. Marek gave it to Pettit. Green goes in. He'll kick the goal. Decides against Bate. Puts it through. Apologises to Bate in the square. Bate not altogether happy, but he'll take the goal.
Look at that pick up then from Trengove, and the way that he actually put his body in to gain possession of the ball, but protected himself at the same time. He's really slow getting up. But just watch this again. Just bang, hovered over the ball, kept his eye on the ball.
Do you give this one, Tim?
Yes, you do. Don't you think?
I think you do.
Yeah. I mean, particularly when you're the captain.
Well, 2 guys struggling for form. That's the thing.
That's a great collect then from Trengove.
Oh, brilliant, wasn't it? He's a good number 2, Trengove.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be a good number 1 down the track too.
He's a leader. I mean, that interview that we played at half-time, he's got it so much between the ears as well as in the heart. He's a good player. So Knights out of the centre, and good mark, and again some desperation from Melbourne, leading by over 90 points. Bale. Everyone's playing right now as if they want to be there next week.
It's been a 4-quarter performance from the Demons.
Frawley. Jarrah. Gisberts. Back to Frawley. Run down, not quite. Trengove again, a low ball in the forward 50, goes back to Green, then Green back to Trengove. They're closing in on the 100. Trengove to centre half forward, not quite for Watts. Can't get through Gisbert's, and away comes Smith. Haven't seen much of him. It's coming back, Dennis.
Yes, Frawley's got it. Off a step, Frawley goes to Green. Any sort of a bloke could kick it towards Bate. High ball, about 20 metres out. Yench did pretty well. Crumbed there by Henderson, gave it across to John Cock. On the bounce, Bale, he's through. Bale lines up, kicks into the oncoming Yench. Well played by Dunn. Dunn bounces it down towards full forward. Rutten's in the road. Hand passes back to John Cock. He's under pressure. Oh, this is getting personal now. Walker, Doughty, Douglas. Adelaide need to hold. High ball coming out from Van Berlo. Sloane into the path of Riley. Now storming back is McKernan, the only man inside the forward 50. Ball in flight. Wouldn't have been a mark. It's all over. Melbourne kicked 22 goals to answer their critics and win running away.